back Charr up with big jabs, cuff away, smash and hit any part of the glove.
Nice long left hook there from Ustinov. But it's Charr, it's not so much Ustinov done anything. Charr's volunteered the centre of the ring.
To retreat. He's volunteered to retreat and move himself to the back of the ropes. To his back on the ropes.
Just getting a little bit too close there with our right hand there. Alexander Ustinov just needs a little bit more space for this. He's catching him with the jab with the long left hook. Just needs to keep that distance. Don't move the feet for a little while, then throw the right hand.
Maybe Charr's plan. Maybe Charr's working out. Let's get through a few rounds. Let's take that sting, that bit of speed. What speed there is in Ustinov's work away from him. Maybe that's Charr's plan. Get a couple of rounds under his belt. But you can't keep getting clubbed by a man that weighs 18 stone.
But what he did do there, good Charr. He threw two good body shots in close.
Stop.
But yeah, he's getting clubbed about and
good right hands on the back of the ear, and that's a bad place to get hit by a man who's that big, that tall.
Not an inspiring start. It's the first round so far for Charr.
No, it's not an inspiring start for Manny Charr.
Good right hand again there from Ustinov. See Charr, oh, good shot there from Manny. From lovely left hook, got them a little crouch stance there from.
My eyes serve me right. That's exactly what Charr needs to do occasionally. Not necessarily go forward randomly and wildly, but stick that jab on the chest and look to maybe land that right. If you throw a high right hand, a looping right hand here, it has to connect.
Yeah, but as long as you got to touch with the left hand first though, with someone like Ustinov, because he sits back on the back foot. So you throw the right hand, think he's on target because his front foot's close to you, but he's well in safe distance. So if the left hand lands, you'll be able to turn from the waist and the right hand will land.
The point is, you're saying you've got to set that marker out there. You've got to create the distance with that big left to the chest. And who cares? Aim for the throat, the neck, under the chin. It doesn't matter. It's all the same.
Always good, but that's good from Ustinov. Nice.
It comes forward, okay.
See, I think Charr's trying to replicate the Pulev fight. The Pulev, stayed on the outside quite effectively, but he's a better.
Somebody might go 3 or 4 rounds. Good jab there, sent the spray flying from Ustinov's head. He's busier inside. He can't. It's easy to be busier inside. It's easier to throw more punches than Ustinov. You can't sit on the ropes. Just missed with that left hook, Barry. He's looking for that shot.
Yeah, he is. What he do? He's sitting nice and low, so he's making Ustinov chop down. But Ustinov always keeps that chin high, so he's rolling underneath, but not effective enough. He's doing the right things in stages. Charr, I just think he'd be a little bit more proactive with it. It's
not a bad heavyweight round. This is the sort of round that we were hoping for. It's a competitive round. 2 guys throwing big shots. 2 guys trying to do what they do. Some people, it's a big Alexander having a good first round, a slightly tighter, closer second round. Could have been split either way. You couldn't make it. You could make a decent case for both in that second round.
So,
yeah.
I think Ustinov started off the sharper for sure, but then Charr came in with some little flashes of good work to finish the round off.
Tony Weeks not really happy to let Lee.
What Charr needs to do, just keep stay nice and low, because that uppercut works every time. Something's obviously worked on. Just keep rolling in the punches. Ustinov jab, he paused a bit with the jab. The right hand's a snappy shot from Ustinov, but the jab is for the most part quite a poor range-finding shot. So that's a shot you can look for. Straight punches.
And finishing with a straight left.
Everything's finished with boom, boom, boom. Like that last left, straight left comes at a different angle. It's a very hard shot to defend against. And it pushes your opponent back as well. They're all expecting the hook. They're sitting down for the hook. Then that straight.
And then in the third,
the straight shot
comes through the middle. Nice. He crosses his legs, Ustinov. He's a man that you can hurt. You can catch off balance. You can catch him clean off balance. When he throws the right, he generally brings the right leg forward.
Good jab there from Charr. Charr just took a little right hand to the temple, I thought.
Fight, entire round.
That's nice little 1-2 there from Charr. Scrappy there for Charr, just head down. Good jab. Finish the round.
Oddly, no, Barry. Why is that?
That's just tradition.
Anyway, a nice jab there. Let's not be critical. Nice jab there. I want to see Charr get a little bit closer and throw straight punches. That's what happens. He's going straight down the middle of that fairly open and loose guard.
It's a good jab there though from Charr, but he's trying to set his feet to throw when he's trying to throw the hooks See that little movement there? Do that coming forward. That's a uppercut there from Charr.
And he just showed himself again. And we said earlier on that short right uppercut from that's a good left hook.
Yeah, good, yeah.
That wasn't a looping wild shot. That was an aggressive, terrific short left hook.
Just needs to be a little bit busier because when he does commit himself, he's just showing, you know, the slow feet of Ustinov, easy to get in and out against him.
I must say that Ustinov,
isn't he, Charr?
Much better, Barry. But that's a risk against a big lump like this.
But, you know, as long as he quickens the feet, he smothers the punches of Ustinov then. You've got to be careful of that uppercut. But uppercuts are hard to land clean.
And also shows a little bit of movement.
Just getting a bit too close again there with that. He did the right thing there, Ustinov, threw the double jab to set up for the right hand, but just got a little bit too close with the second jab then, and he's having to arc the right hand rather nice and long and fluid.
It's quite a hard fight, this, Barry. There's not a lot of breathers. In the last 2 or 3 rounds, the first round was the most relaxed for either of them in some ways. So you're giving this round to Charr, Barry?
I think so, Steve, yeah. I think he's done quite well.
So you could have it 3-1, you could have it 2-2 at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what that's...
That's I think, the Superman.
He always looks lazy, doesn't he, Ustinov? Like, I could do more, but I can't be bothered. And I just think that's the way he looks, I'm not sure.
It's a lot. He's carrying a lot of weight, and he's a big... And he's a hell of a size. We've seen him, Barry. He's a hell of a lump. And in all fairness, his hands are low because it's easier to keep your hands low. You know that. It's far easier. And I think that's part of just the way he looks.
And also, you know, he got his hands low, but he sits on the back foot, so his body's leaned back a bit, so it gives the illusion he's closer than he is. And then he'll catch you coming forward, then you'll think there's a big gap to hit. And you're not, you know, you mistime the judgment of the distance, and then he catches you coming forward.
But you mustn't make a mistake with Ustinov and believe he's tired. That's what he needs to do more of. He needs to try and cut Charr off and just pound away with those big overhand rights.
What Charr's got to be careful of is doing all this and then just trying to get a good little finish at the end of the round.
To nick the round?
Yeah, but if Ustinov just ups the pace up in the last 30 seconds himself, then you've got to give him the round for being the busier fighter.
Yeah.
And you've got to be careful of that. But you can see Charr's clearly watched the Pulev fight, where Pulev wasn't the guy you thought you were going to come forward.
So they're both looking to bury a couple of ghosts in here tonight. Manny Charr, a couple of losses, including a knockout to the cruiserweight Maris Bredis. And Ustinov himself, the defeat to Pulev.
Which, let's be right, that was Ustinov's only step up.
Yes.
In class, let's be truthful. Where Charr has stepped up a few times.
Yes.
He's no more. To be honest, it was a good effort, but only one punch landed.
I know only one punch landed. What can't happen? What Charr needs to realise, and I think understand, is that if you're throwing punches close like that, Ustinov can't hit you. He can't adjust his feet and sink in a short hook. He needs you going back or walking onto a shot. He can't do anything if you're in that. And I don't want to overdo the mid-range and the three-quarter range. But if you're close, if you're in your fighting distance, which Charr is when he's really close, Ustinov can't do much there. Apart from the uppercut, I just said he wouldn't throw them.
And that uppercut opened up, that cut it up. Everything that Charr throws, or whether it lands or not, is getting cheered by the crowd. And that could be an influence in itself. And it's okay, and dancing around the ring and not doing much is fine, but then when you do attack, they have to be...
Knows if Ustinov, because even I'm starting to get fooled here by how tired Ustinov can look visually.
See the crowd cheering there, but actually the only punch landed was the right hand from Ustinov.
Yeah.
Shots.
When you see Ustinov, you realise just how good Nikolai Valuev was. He was busy, he did everything, he upped the pace, he had a great engine for 12 rounds. I'd like to see Ustinov put a bit more pressure on Charr, to be honest with you, Barry. I know he might. I fancy Ustinov as winner. I'd like to see him push Charr back. I'd like to see him drop that right hand over the top, a bit like he did there earlier at the end of the last round.
The thing with Ustinov, that jab is just solely a rangefinder. That's all. He throws a nice long left hook, but he never uses that jab as a weapon.
Which he could. He's enormous. You know, he's enormous in size. And I quite like that little left, the way he switched that left up. But he's got to throw a few more punches for me, even though he's winning the fight.
Good body shot there from Charr. A lovely jab there from Manuel Charr. And a good left hook as well. Might have left it a little bit too late, though, to produce this good work, Steve.
To nick the round, you mean?
Yeah.
Stop, let him up.
See, the crowd are cheering whatever he does, so you always got to try and zone them out.
And it's
good uppercut there, though, from Ustinov. Not been troubled by anything so far, Charr.
Neither of them have been troubled. No. I didn't like the way Charr was offering himself a sacrifice in the first round, because you can't keep on getting clipped around the ear, neck, and top of the head.
No, but he's working a little bit harder here, Charr.
Oh!
Shot.
He's got him. His legs are gone. It's a terrific left hook. It was a long left hook. You can see the crowd. You know this is the Charr crowd. He's trying to desperately to hold on, Ustinov, and he can't really. He's not instinctive enough. He's just got his hands out there.
So this is what I talked earlier, Steve, about doing the basics well, hands high. When you're in trouble now, he can't hold his hands if he doesn't hold them half a time.
Because he hasn't held them high. Barry, absolutely right.
Just needs to take a little bit of a breath here, Charr. You got to keep the pressure on, but he's wasting a lot of energy and missing a lot of shots. Stay nice and low out of that crouch stance for that big left hook. From distance, I'd throw it now.
There was a big looping left hook. It was good. It was going forward left hook. It was an offensive left hook. Same again, Manny Charr.
I don't think Ustinov's hurt as maybe we thought.
I think he was for 10 seconds. I don't think he is now. I think he's recovered, the big lad.
It's a solid jab there, though, again from Charr.
Set it up with the jab, and drop the right hand. Ustinov needs to fire back your hold. I don't think he can hold. He's got to fire back Ustinov if he wants to get through this round.
Great effort here from Manuel Charr. But it was worth the risk. You thought you had the guy on the ropes. You've got to go for it at some stage. Just needs to regroup a little bit now, Charr, and go again.
No extra points for wobbling your opponent. Maybe just a jab. Keep trying to unsettle Ustinov. Solid jab there, proper jab. Buckled Ustinov's legs again, Barry.
Good shot as well there for Charr. Good work.
Dangerous work.
Charr's got to keep the pressure. You've got to be aware of not gassing out, not being too wild with his work. But that's good there. In and out. Just don't back up too much now. See, when you're backing up, you're just giving a little bit of space for Ustinov to throw that long left hook.
Sure.
Which he hasn't used enough there, Alexander Ustinov. And when Charr comes up, leans over that front foot and rolls underneath, comes out with that hook and that right hand over the top, looks the better fighter.
He doesn't have to be that creative, Manny Charr. He needs to look for maybe the left hook. You know, he's a big lump that throws decent jabs, drops right hands down. He's got a decent chin and no doubt on his heart. And he's kept winning, he's kept bishing and bashing people.
But be careful, Charr, not to just look for the big shot too much now. Just looking to load up and forgetting to work. See, you got the pass, a little shimmy in the shoulders then from Manuel Charr. He can do some of that work. Draw the lead of Ustinov. Good right hand, left toe was a little bit straight. Oh, shot!
A superb shot, a cracking shot. Caught him on the eye. He's cut the eye at the same time. He went down, he toppled down, he poured down. He can barely stand. The eye is a terrible cut underneath the eye. Tony Weeks there taking a look. The corner are panicking. He went down there, Alexander Ustinov. As I've said, Barry, no doubt, no doubts ever about his heart and his guts.
See, Charr can afford, at the minute, I'd keep the pressure on Ustinov, don't let him find his legs. He can afford to miss with that right hand. Remember Eubank used to throw that big right hand just to give himself a bit of space? He knew he was going to miss, but he threw with so much weight and power that people just had to get out of the way. Now, Charr can sort of do that sort of thing, throw the jab to the chest, big right hand, so Ustinov leans back, and then jump in with that crouching left hook.
No.
I think he's even hurting him with those short shots inside, Barry, but that's draining. You've got a man who's whatever he is, nearly a 2 stone heavier, leaning down on you. That's really hard.
But also Ustinov is tired as well. You could see it there. He wasn't hurt there. He just knackered and to hold on.
Ustinov could grab his own breather here, but finally looks like it. First time he's put his arm underneath Charr's arm to try and grab a breather. Didn't work. Tried for something. Let's see if he finds it.
Well, up to this point, nothing that Ustinov has thrown has troubled Charr in the slightest, power-wise. I said he's looked really strong, hasn't he?
If Charr were to get himself knocked out by one of those punches, he would have himself to blame, and he'd have to take a very long, hard look in the mirror and consider the rest of his boxing career. That's if Charr were to get knocked out.
And then Charr was trying to steal the rounds with a little bit of better work, but nothing was great, and that's where I was probably edging Ustinov in some of those rounds. But Charr's been a little bit better the second half, that's for sure.
I don't think Charr can afford just to relax and sit back and think he can coast a victory here. There's too many rounds and too many cuffing shots that the judges would have to use. He has to win some of these rounds.
I think with Charr's, he hasn't done it enough, but he's worked well to the body. When he's decided to fight, Ustinov gives you opportunities because he has no defence.
His hands are low.
Yeah.
You know,
his lean back is his defence.
His defence is just his brute strength, iron chin and size. Yeah, he turns his shoulders a little bit so that it deflects. It takes a bit of power from the punches, but not very much. You're in round 10 here of a WBA regular championship fight in 2011. The WBA. So Virgil Hunter's a big believer in you can surrender rounds, you can lose rounds. But that's easier said than done. When you've got Andre Ward,
yeah,
it's quite easy to surrender a round.
But he's one pace anyway, is Ustinov. I think Charr would have started a little bit faster. Then he takes the steam right out of Ustinov early.
I think we maybe underestimate how big and powerful Ustinov is. Not how dangerous he is, but I think that sometimes you're hitting him in early in fights. Maybe you're not hurting him, Barry. Pulev boxed sensibly, remember.
But the right hand's a dangerous shot for Ustinov, and it's fast as well, especially in the early rounds. But the jab is a bit of a pouring shot, so I think that's. And Charr's have shown he can slip inside that effectively, and I think he could have done that a little bit earlier on. But he's boxing well. The second half, he's got his act together. It was good right hand just a second ago from Ustinov, but he's been out. Oh, good right hand there from Charr. Just a bit of a glancing blow, not quite. Yeah. Only like a centimetre off the target.
Ustinov was just moving away slightly, just ducking his head away from it. Best piece of defence we've seen from Big Alexander.
Yeah. It's the right idea though from Charr. Just come out with the left hook. Been a good effort in this round from man, and him being the, if I get this right, him being the home fighter also, and the way the crowd's been cheering every time he's just thrown a punch, you tend to think he might be a little bit wide as well.
People also have it dead even. Let's have a look. I know one thing: if this is taking place in Belarus, in Minsk, if this is taking place in Moscow, in Russia, I'm going for Vlad Uranov's fighter. And Vlad Uranov's fighter is the big lump Ustinov. Vlad Uranov, the man that paid Vladimir Klitschko, I think it was $17 million, which was the best for 20 years, to fight Alexander Povetkin. It's one of those heavyweight fights that we overlook. That was a terrific fight and a brilliant fight by Vladimir. Povetkin got it all right and got it all wrong. Two more heavyweights here fighting for a version of the world title and the right to be in the mix for the big paydays against the division's cash cows.
Good shot again there from Emmanuel Charr. A little dip in the, coming back with the left hook, and again.
Oh, that's a good left hook. I think he's sealing it. He's going home with 70 seconds to go. He's romping home Manny Charr. He's busier, he's paced it, his right cheekbone. A gash which they somehow have managed to stop bleeding. That is a sensational piece of corner work. Manny's starting to enjoy himself with 10 seconds to go. The crowd, no, they think he's done enough. I think Manny thinks he's done enough.
Shots again there from Charr. The left hook's winning the fight for me, Steve.
With us. Let's go to we'll watch Tony Weeks raise the hands.
Meine Damen und Herren, Ladies and Gentlemen, wir kommen zur Urteilsverkündung. Die Punktrichter werteten The Judges Court. Stefano Carrozza, 115 zu 111, 115, 111. Joan Porteray scored 116 to 111, 116 zu 111. Und Stanley Christodoulou wertete, Stanley Christodoulou scored 115 to 112. Ein einstimmiges Urteil, unanimous decision. And the new WBA Heavyweight Champion of